welcome to another episode of Legacy Speaks. I am so excited because I'm here in my second home, Tampa Bay, Florida. And like I told y'all, guess what? I'm definitely moving up and giving you guys new content and new things and new ideas this year. Starting off with the launch of Mind Your Business, which is a series where I get to talk to great entrepreneurs, leaders, as well as fellow educators and professionals about the mindset that they have within their industry and what it takes for them to be successful. And kicking it off is the wonderful Ashley Canay, y'all. If y'all don't know who she is, I've been page stalking her for quite some time. She's definitely the bomb.com in all things photography, videography, filmography, all the ographies. And so, yes, welcome, Ashley.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, she said my name's Ashley Canay. I'm a photographer and a cinematographer. Videography has been something I've been doing ever since I was in high school. I was born and raised here in Tampa. Went to Blake High School Performing Arts Center, and have been doing video, a little bit of photography ever since then. And then ever since about a couple years ago when I quit my job, I've just been, attacking this goal. It's been a dream for a long time, so I'm really thankful that I'm able to actually, I had the opportunity to pursue what I love doing.
Probably last year, you took a picture on your Instagram and you posted your desk, and it was just this was the moment where I realized that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to pursue my passion and monetize off of that. So can you give the people some type of backstory behind that?
Yes, so in 2000, I think I started my actual business back in 2014, and then I went through 2 jobs, and in around 2016, I quit my day job to pursue photography and cinematography full time. I just felt like it was something I had really been wanting to do for the longest, and there's no better time than now while I'm young. I don't have any kids. I don't really have a lot of responsibility. So I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity of doing that.
Right. How do you reaffirm yourself, especially in such a oversaturated industry?
I always, I tell myself things are going to go great. The shoot's going to go well. The wedding day is going to go awesome. I don't let things faze me. And I take every challenge and try to come up with a solution for it. And with affirmations in my head, I always, I say, okay, this is going to work out. This is going to be great. I have affirmation in my home that I say repeatedly. I will attract clients that love, appreciate, and can afford my worth. I think that's very important, that you tell yourself what you want to attract, what you are attracting, what God is attracting in your life. So, yeah, that's how I do my affirmations.
I think that's just really dope how you've evolved over time.
Thank you.
And so how do you, as a professional, know when it's time to evolve, and how have you been able to stay relevant within the industry?
I gotta address something earlier you said, because you said a lot. I definitely look up to a lot of people that are just around the U.S. and I guess it goes into this question you just asked too. Mm-hmm. I look up to a lot of people that are in the U.S., Texas, up in D.C. and New York. A lot of photographers and cinematographers that have been just crushing it consistently. And even here in Florida, there's plenty of people that I look up to here in Florida. And I think that's why I think evolution, because you can see where you can go. There's always room for growth. Yeah. It's just like they say, representation matters in so many different ways. That is so important, because I've seen African American men, I've seen African American women successful in this field, and I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it too, basically. So I just know that I have to keep evolving. If I look at my work from last year and I look at it this year, if it looks the same, then I'm not doing myself any justice or service. It's supposed to be a continuous, step up. You're supposed to step it up each time.
Right.
How do I argue about the value of my work? Mm-hmm. So the way I win people over is I will usually show them my work and then I let them make a decision. I just, I don't do too much sales talk. I'm not really a good salesperson. And if they are sold, they will want to book. If not, they got to think about it. That's perfectly fine. I'm not really in the business of going back and forth with prices or lowering my price to win over a client, because if you're in it for price, that means you might not value my work as much as I value my work. And when you're an entrepreneur, you have to remember, like, why you got into this business. Do you want to grow, or do you want to stay at the same level that you were before? And it's like, I can't upgrade equipment. I can't do all the things that I want to do if I keep, settling for the same prices that I was 2 years ago. Make sense?
Yeah. And I think that's very, very important, because a lot of us, whether it's a professional or entrepreneur, we have those goals, or like you had mentioned earlier, seeing yourself beyond where you're at right now, but we lack that confidence in asking or requesting to be paid or compensated what we're worth and what we value.
Right. I think that's very important. We should definitely, find out, do your research, find out what you're worth, find out what the market is charging, and then, go from there. Start from ground zero. If you have to, get some things on your portfolio, there is such thing as a portfolio, but 2-3 years in, everything shouldn't be, portfolio. You want to shoot things so they can end up on your portfolio, but you can't keep shooting portfolio and then giving away free work. What that does is, it first of all, your client doesn't take you as serious. They don't put in as much work as if they actually, paid for something. They don't see they don't value your service as much as if they paid for it.
Right.
I definitely saw a night and day in my clientele once I started bringing my prices up.
Okay.
So, yeah.
A certain caliber kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah. Venues started changing, especially for weddings. Things that I saw, like professional makeup artists, professional hairstylists, like things just started changing. As soon as the prices went up, they just started. I was like, okay, I'm like, my clients don't be playing with me. Okay, like I can't even get that, but okay. I appreciate you for working with me. Well, I was like, dang.
Introducing you to some new places, like,
right.
I didn't even know this was here.
Right. There's a Tampa club right here on one of these skyscrapers, actually, I didn't even know about, but it's really nice.
That's dope. And one thing that I love about you and your brand is, like, you are an advocate of continuous education. Like, even now, just dropping knowledge, I'm like, I just stay on the creative side. Boom. Like, and it's very important, because when you're buying all this equipment, when you are trying to not necessarily sell, but advocate your value to a client, and show that you're an expert in your field, I think it's so important to constantly be up to date. I know within my field, we have this thing called continuing education units. But like in photography, like that's not something that's required.
Right. It takes discipline. Yeah. And when an opportunity comes or arises, a workshop comes up, you find somebody that's offering a workshop and you like look up to them, I say take it. Like when I first got into this, one of my mentors, Berto Photo, he had education on his website, and I was like, what does that mean? So I saw it was like a workshop, and it was like a one-on-one type situation where he taught me how to use my camera. And I was very grateful for that, because I was like, I didn't even know this was a thing. Right. Like, I really appreciate it, having my own personal time with a professional photographer, and he's going to show me how to work this stuff. And I kind of just went along with him, and he definitely helped me develop it with weddings and coming up into this industry, because and I really appreciate it, because after that I started to open my eyes to different more opportunities that are available, like conferences and workshops that are international, or I think they're called excursions, photography excursions, where they'll take you to Egypt and stuff like that. Like one of my friends, Gene, he lives up in Orlando in New York, and went to Egypt with another photographer. Like that was another educational experience that he was able to experience. So there's definitely a bunch of different opportunities for people to find out about, research about, and go ahead and register for.
Right. And you've done some yourself, like ones that I have attended, like learning more about the camera, or just building your brand, or how to be a better blogger or vlogger, which I was really grateful for that.
Thank you.
And so, like, I know you're an educator by trade. Do you plan on doing more in the future?
Workshops, maybe. I don't know. Maybe someday in the future, but I won't say what I won't do. Somebody always told, I forgot who told me, but never say what you won't do. Yeah. Right now, I don't really have anything that I want to teach at the moment. But if something, you know, gets put on my heart, I'll definitely do it. It's just nothing has really, you know, come up or sparked my interest at the moment, or nobody's really asked me to do any educational workshops on something specific. At the time, I think when I was doing a vlogging workshop, there was a lot of people that were just asking about it because I was putting out vlogs. So like we just said, that's what I attracted, people that wanted to learn, you know, how to work their camera, how to do a vlog, like how to, you know, how does that process, lighting, your video camera equipment, how does all that stuff work? Because you know, that's like the meat and potato. I feel like that's the meat and potato of any entrepreneur's journey, like those educational opportunities. Like you have to be disciplined, and you have to put yourself out there and get yourself in those classes.
Right. Putting yourself in the environment, and also not being afraid to connect with other people too.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes as entrepreneurs we feel like we have to be on our own.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be siloed, or I don't want to reach out for help because I don't want people to think I'm biting off of them or whatever like that. And so, like, to see that you are collaborating with other photographers and other people within your industry, I think that's really dope as well.
Definitely. Yeah, you can't really get too far within this industry by your entire self. When you shoot weddings, you need a team of people. Right now, and I've recently I've been learning that, because as of recently, that's when I've tried to, you know, as of last year, I want to say, I was working with AGUXRO and working with a lot of photographers, cinematographers, and I saw that the load was not as heavy if I had people that were there to assist me, or if I was working side by side with somebody. I would never book a whole wedding for photography and cinematography. I just never would do that.
Right.
Usually what I did last year was I was working with AGUXRO, and she would take care of photography and I would take care of cinematography. And we would, you know, just vibe like that. I've met more photographers and more cinematographers. If I have something, I need an assistant, if I need a second, there's always somebody that's always been like, you know, hey, I can help, or hey, let's you know, let's get together, let's work on this project. And that's, you know, that's just awesome, because that just creates, you know, great vibrations and, you know, collaborations and all that stuff. It creates magic. There's no other way to explain it. Like, you just create all this magic.
Right.
This is magic.
All types of black girl magic, vlogging magic. Boom.
Hey.
Hey.
Give him a little shoulder. Give him a little shoulder.
And then also with the team too, like, you have a money team, and I know we talked about this before, but you don't just surround yourself with photographers and other cinematographers.
Oh yeah. I feel like everybody has their strength, and if you notice somebody is good at branding or marketing or anything else, you know, just personality wise with customer service and all that stuff, reach out to them, you know, learn some tricks and tips from them. I did not learn everything from one person. Marketing, I definitely learned a lot from Chip Desired. For like Facebook and all that stuff, that was definitely, all that was Chip. I didn't know anything about, like, I would post a photo and be like, okay, there it is. No, I need to be, you know, posting a link. I need to give instruction. What is this about? Who cares? Like, why are you just posting random stuff? There was definitely like instances where my mentors were, you know, correcting me as far as, you know, technical wise, like, that line is crooked, this is off, this looks blurry. My mentors are the ones that usually correct me soon after I post things. Like, they're like, nah. Why you did this? What is this? What is, like, fix that? That looks hideous. Like, they don't care.
Right, but you need those type of people around you, because, like, you get to a point where your success is so great, then a lot of people are like, yeah, girl, I got you, oh my gosh, yeah, that was dope. But you need those people who are going to hold you accountable and stretch you to go to the next level. Definitely
Accountability partners and mentors are very, you know, they're very selfless, which is, I really appreciate them, because I haven't gotten to a place where I don't feel like I'm able to mentor anybody, because what I feel like a mentor is somebody that is consistently, walking with somebody. Me, I feel like I'm able to, I'll help you with this and help you with that. Like, you got a question, like, what you need. Right. But my mentors are the ones I feel like they're legit watching what I do. Like, I don't know what, like, I'll do something. They're like, what is that? Like, I'm like, why aren't you editing something?
I literally just posted something like 15 seconds ago. Can you let the people see it just a little bit?
Little bit. They don't want people to see it. They're like, no, take that down.
No.
That looks hideous. But no, I really appreciate them. They've really been like, I'm going to a workshop actually in, when is it? It's in April. And it's going to be a cinematography workshop with Ben Davis, Amine Studios. I'm really excited about that because I really look up to him in wedding cinematography. So I'm like really, really excited for that because I just registered like last week, and I'm just like, really pumped and amped about that thing.
She's ready.
Yes.
Sir. And one thing about this series is talking about pairing mental health within whatever profession that you're in, or just success in general. And so with you having such a stringent schedule, how do you, schedule or dedicate time to yourself to kind of recuperate and kind of get your mind right for what you're doing and the services that you provide for your clients?
I usually create a list of things I need to do for that week or that day. Actually, I'm better with day lists, and then I'll really have 20-some things I need to do. I'll chunk it. I'll take 3, 4, or 5 things, put it on the list, and when I finish that list, I stop. I don't keep going, because what happens is if I keep going, I feel like, I'm gonna burn myself out or something like that. I'm not trying to work myself into a stupor. That's how you overwork yourself. I don't want to overwork myself. I make sure I have small, kind of benchmark goals. I want to finish this project. I want to finish editing up to this point. I want to finish editing up to, the reception, or editing up to, their ceremony. And then, the next day I'll attack another part of something. I don't ever try to work myself up into a tizzy. I have a very, not bare necessities, but Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
Hakuna Matata. That's my motto. Hakuna Matata. So that's my personality. So that's how I kind of stick to that.
It means no worries for all you people who don't know what it means, actually. And I'm really glad that you do that, the whole chunking piece. I may do that as well. I'm a list type of person, so if something isn't completed on that list, I drive myself to do it. But oftentimes it's just we really have to take things one day at a time, or that each piece at a time. And even within your weddings and whatever events that you have, obviously there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of moving parts. How do you stay present within the moment?
I make sure that, I'm very observative as far as what's going on with the bride and with the groom. And then it's also important to pay attention to what's going on in the grand scheme of things. If things are running behind, or if things are running on time, or things are running at the same time, and you need to be in both places at the same time, which that has happened to me before. But I've made sure I've been, I communicate with, I make sure that I communicate with the planner so that they can alert me to when I need to be doing something, or where I need to be when the time arises for me to be in that space. So I always make sure I'm just paying attention. You have to be very attentive to what's going on. Brides, sometimes they don't have a good day because something might be going awry. Maybe their mother's not there, and they've been, dreaming about, girl. Wait a minute. I was like, that sounds like a horse.
First of all, we had a lot going on with this video.
My goodness. There's a bird over there. He's singing a chorus.
Then we had these drills. Then we had a truck that would not move or leave. It was pretty wild.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
But why?
So with not only checking in with the bride, but how do you check in with yourself as well?
With me, I make sure that I schedule time to, talk to my friends. I vent. Venting is very healthy. Like, don't let anybody tell you that venting is like stop talking about negative things. No, don't stay in a negative stupor forever. But if you're having a problem, if you're having issues, talk to somebody. Talk to a friend. Talk to a therapist. Find somebody to talk to. Before I became a full-time photographer, I like struggled with a very big bout of depression. I was very depressed. I did not have the best thoughts at all, and the only time that I felt like, you know, life was worth living, not to sound too dramatic, but when I felt life was worth living is when I was talking about becoming a photographer, shooting weddings full time. That was the only time I felt like, you know, this life is worthwhile, because one day I'm going to be able to do this. So I knew I was going to be able to stay in that job, and once I you know, claimed that what I was going to do, that's what helped me, you know, keep pushing through. So definitely talking to somebody. And you brought up, so what's the term that you came with?
Catch it, check it, change it. So basically, for those who don't know what it is, it's like this phrase that we use in cognitive therapy. So if you have a negative thought that doesn't remain consistent with who you are and who you're trying to become, you have to catch it. Then check it. Okay, well, is it me, or is it the people around me? Is it my environment? And then change it so that it can be aligned with the direction that you're trying to go into.
Right. Yeah, I think that's really, really important. I really love that saying, because I think for a while, like, I would have people around me, or people that didn't know what I was going through, and they just like they didn't know to, you know, tell me to check what I'm like, check my spirit, like check what I'm going through, and then change what I was going through. So I thought that was very important.
Well, thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you for having me.
No, girl, of course, anytime. I appreciate you. So let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me at ashleycanay.com or Instagram at Ashley Canay.
Girl, she has everything. I'm telling y'all, if y'all need anything, not only just for weddings, but just for events in general, y'all, she got a drone. We can't fly it out here.
Oh Lord, we can't. They don't want us. They don't want us to be great.
They don't want us to be great, but she has a drone, y'all. Get your life, all right? And so please, definitely, I'll include all her links, all her information in the description box below. Definitely stay connected via Legacy SPKS on everything. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time. Bye.
The lowest one in Gungo, and then the f-stop. That's what made us like that. What brought us in. I'm at 13.
Mm-hmm.
So like sometimes when it's like just at the higher it gets, the darker. But if you want to lighten it up, that's how you lighten it up. It was at 13, or you can take it up or down. But like if you make it if you try to expose for the background and make sure that's looking good, we're gonna look black, which is not bad, but we can't see our faces.
Right. Very true.
We're what's important. So like even when I shoot weddings, I make sure I expose for the subject, because with Instagram and all that stuff, that's why I was telling you, like, bring it closer, because if it's too far back, you can't see expressions. And usually when I shoot, people don't know I shoot with my little nifty 50. Nifty 50 is like the cheapest lens.
Because usually what I do is like I just edit everything within the software.
Mm-hmm.
So like even if it's far back, I do like the crop and zoom, or I like lighten it up or darken it.
You know that it takes away from the quality when you zoom into the video.
Mm-hmm.
So you try to shoot as close to what you want it to look like as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I tell that people that's like doing photography and video, try to get it the best you can get it in camera, where you don't have to touch it as much when you're editing, because what happens when you have to add filters or have to zoom in or do things like that, it changes the quality of the video. So that's why the only thing you can really zoom in on now is 4K video. And that's why 4K is so big, because I can take a shot of a bride and groom and then zoom into him, and I can go into like 1080 and still not lose any quality, and take the shot over and put it on her. But if I'm using like regular 1080p like video, if I try to zoom into that, the quality goes down. So people will start noticing the quality in your video going up when you just start shooting like straight out of the camera. Like if you start getting it the best you can get it straight out of the camera. Yeah.
Hitting me up on gang.
Yeah. They'll notice. They're like, oh shoot. It might look like it's a little closer to us now, but like, trust me.
It's kind of like that meme where we're talking about everybody is a photographer until you have them switch to the manual, the manual mode. Yes.